All right, we are going to do number 8 a little different. Instead of doing a rotation 180 degrees, I want to do 90 degrees clockwise. If you will notice, up in the corners of the quadrants, I wrote what they are. Quadrant 1 is plus plus, quadrant 2 is minus plus, quadrant 3 is minus minus, quadrant 4 is minus plus minus. When we rotate something 90 degrees, that means we are moving it from one quadrant to the next, the way the clock moves. So, point F is in quadrant 2 right here. If I move it one quadrant over, it's going to be in quadrant 1, where both of your answers are positive. So our new F point will be 2. I flip them, but because that's a positive quadrant, they both have to be positive. So 2, 1 is your new F point. G is the same way. Let's see. We flip it, -3, -2. Let's look. Currently, G is down here in quadrant 3. It'll move up to quadrant 2. Quadrant 2 is a negative plus. So the 3 will stay the same, and the 2 will become positive. For point E, I'm going to flip them to 1, -5. And then E is over here in quadrant 2. It's going to move to quadrant 1, which is plus plus. So both of those will be positive. So we have our points, then we graph it. So I draw it like that. That means if I rotate my picture 90 degrees clockwise from the origin, that's the new picture I'll make. We're going to do this one the same way. Instead of doing 180 about the origin, we are going to do 90 degrees clockwise. So I've gotten everything written out. So now so I look at H. H is 3, 0. Well, my new H will be 0, 3. Now this is a little different because H is on the line. So when we rotate it, it's going to rotate to this line. That is the positive part of that Y line. So that 3 right here stays positive. So that's your new H. For I, we're going to flip our coordinates. So 2, 3 changes. Now, I is right here in quadrant 2. To go the way the clock goes, 90 degrees, it's going to come over here to quadrant 1. So that means that it's in the plus plus. So our I is correct. 2, 3, it'll stay the same. Point J is 2, 3. We got to flip it to 3, 2. But now we got to look at our picture. J is right here in quadrant 1. And we need to get J to move around to quadrant 4. So it just goes to the next section. So 4 is a plus minus. So the 3 stays positive and the 2 goes negative. The last point we need to move is the K. Now the K is right here on the X line, which means it's got to come down to this Y line. But if you look, that's the negative part of the Y line. So we're going to flip 0, 1, but our Y has moved down to negative. Now we graph it. So that would be our rotated figure. Now if you do all these and your shape does not look like the shape you started with, you may have done a coordinate wrong, and you can usually figure out which one. Let's do number 10. Here, we're just trying to figure out what kind of rotation has taken place. So the easiest way to do that is to pick a point. I'm going to pick this M point that's just random. So when we rotate, we move quadrants. So if my M moved to here, that would be a 90 degrees rotation. Well, it didn't. It's over here. So the M moved to here. 90 and 90 makes 180 degrees. So the rule for this transformation is a rotation. It's 180 degrees about the origin. And that's your rule.